Terry from Cinco Ranch has a question about a radiant barrier.
He gets lots of afternoon sun, he says. But I would think with a radiant barrier, it really doesn't matter where you are. You're going to get it, period, on the roof, right?
It's 100% on the roof.
Yeah.
Houston, the altitude of the sun around noon is 89 degrees. So it's almost directly over your roof.
Owie.
Yeah.
Well, he writes, Terry writes this, what it says right here on my little prompter. I've considered installing a radiant barrier, but I'm not sure about the effectiveness of one, nor which method is most effective. He says, I've got plenty of room in my attic to install it against the underside of my roof. So Terry wants to know, spray, foil, is it worth it? Should he do it?
First off, it's always worth it. I don't see how a home in Houston, unless it's covered by another home, wouldn't benefit from a radiant barrier because it's just going to get beat on by the sun. And people say, well, I got a tree out front. That's not enough. It is a natural form of radiant barrier, which is shade, but a radiant barrier will cover 100%. Now, an existing home, to get that 100% coverage, because we talk about the sun hitting almost 100% at any one time of the day, but during the entire day, it will get to 100% on your roof. You want that full coverage for the protection. And the spray-on makes it so much easier for an existing house. Now, if you're coming to me to build a new one, we'd use a radiant barrier roof decking, and we'd use a lot of other different products like radiant barrier wraps on certain walls of the house and things like that. But in an existing home, the bottom line is simpler, easier, less expensive, quicker is the spray-on, and they do work.
I've heard this story before, but there are three parts to it, right? Radiant barrier is just part of it, right?
You have your insulation, your radiant barrier, and your attic ventilation. Conduction, radiation, convection, air goes up when it's hot.
Bills go down.
That's right. The whole idea is your air conditioner just works less.
That's right. And, nobody works less than
me.
Tom and me. Yes. That's right. And you want to see more proof of that?
Tired.
We'll get you. It's nap time. Okay?
It is.
Just let me finish. Just visit the Ask Tom section at HomeShowRadio.com.